They want to control you. What kind of country is this going to be with a contracting economy, with an unstable job market? Whether it's due to illegal immigration, whether it's due to this phony environmental movement. Well, it's going to be dire. It's going to be bleak for your children. Look at national security. Look at the different types of enemies we have. They're all on the move. They're aggressively on the move. Russia threatening its neighbors, including great American allies. And working closely with the Islamo-Nazis in Iran. Because they want oil. And so they're going to send them S-300 rockets. And worse, they want Saudi Arabia to be toppled because Saudi Arabia has been an ally of the United States and Russia resents that. Look at Red China. It's already declared that it has nationalized international waters in the South China Sea and the East China Sea. And over $1 trillion in commerce goes through that South China Sea every single year. They're building pretend islands, fake islands. To do what? To put their warships there. And there it is. We have the Islamo-Nazis in the move. They're devouring the Middle East. They're threatening our neighbors. I believe World War III has begun. Quietly, but it's begun. And it's going to advance right there. In our own hemisphere, we have a president and a secretary of state who have declared the Monroe Doctrine dead. What is the Monroe Doctrine? The Monroe Doctrine, honored by Democrat, Republican presidents, all presidents, says that what goes on in the American hemisphere is a matter of national security to America. We've never had a president who surrendered that before, but he did. And worse than that, the Cuban flag is now flying in the American embassy, in the Cuban embassy in Washington, D.C. A genocidal police state. And who fights these wars? When it reaches a point, whether it's economic, humanitarian, just flat-out self-defense, who fights these wars? Your kids are going to fight these wars. We are creating now the circumstances for the future where America's superpower status is being undermined, not by the enemy from without, but the enemy from within. And your kids are going to pay the price for this. That's why I keep speaking out about this. This needs to be an issue front and center. The issue in this election cycle. We must defend this nation and its institutions and its customs and traditions. We must defend this nation because in doing so, we are defending our children and future generations. We need to do that. And we need to have Republicans who speak to this. We need to have Republicans who are going to speak out against plunder and deceit. We need to have Republicans who are going to articulate this. We need to have Republicans who are going to explain that the left, that the federal government, that the Democrat Party, and yes, many within the Republican Party leadership are exploiting the future. They're stealing from the future. They do not respect what's come before, and so they will destroy what comes after. These debts, failed public education, outrageous immigration policies, the failure to secure our borders, the failure to secure this nation, well, that can't last forever. We need a movement that was as big as the Tea Party movement. And we need it now. And we need it in this election cycle. We need to be heard. Not just the leftists who keep making demands on our private property, who keep trying to steal from our children, who keep gutting our military and law and order. We need to make our demands. And we need to make them selflessly. In the name of our children. On behalf of the future. I want you to help in this effort. at town hall meetings, when you meet these Republican politicians, Democrat politicians, I want you to speak out. I want you to be informed. I want you to be armed with the facts. I want you to make the case. You are sick and tired of the plundering of your children and grandchildren and the deceit. And you're going to stand up for the next generation. You're going to be the next Tea Party movement. We are not going to tolerate plunder and deceit, which is dressed up as compassion, redistribution of wealth, equality. Enough is enough. Big government is the problem. Big government is the enemy. And those who support it, whether outwardly like Democrats or Republicans, a matter of fact, they need to be opposed. Because big government is exploiting young people in the future. And these politicians expect us to vote for them and go along with it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I was told today by another friend who got an advance copy of Plunder and Deceit. And that friend said to me, "This is your best book yet." I said, "It really doesn't matter, does it?" He said, "What do you mean?" Well, if we don't make the case, if we don't nominate the right person, and if we don't elect them, this will be great reading 100 years from now. So my goal is, and I need your help, is to take a stand today, to make the effort today, to make the case with your kids and your grandkids, to make the case with your other family members, to make the case with your coworkers and your neighbors, that this is the new civil rights movement. That saving this country in order to save your family, in order to save your progeny, this is the new civil rights movement. Not every left-wing agenda item. Because this really is about civil rights now. And it is plunder and deceit. I'll be right back.
Mark Lopin.